John Gillian. Folks, if you can come on toward the front, we're just about to start. Sorry for the delay. I should be honest and tell you why there's a delay. I know from being an airline pilot for most of my career, the passengers always wanted to know what was really going on, so we always used to be honestly with the information. And so the reason we're starting late today is because our MC lost his notes. And he's found them, and we're all set to go. And I'd like to welcome you all to the West Fine Art Show. And this is our 7th year of producing fine art shows, and I dare say this is our largest and the best one we've done so far. And it's great to have you here to share the opening. And it's an invitation only, and so all of you here are here because we really wanted you to see this. Now, for almost all of those years, our MC was Red Robinson. And he doesn't have notes, and so you can tell right away that Red isn't here tonight, unfortunately. He did phone me and he said, I want you to send my blessings and my welcome to all of the people at the show. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. And he says, the reason is, it's his wife Carol's birthday, and on top of that, on the same day, it's their 53rd wedding anniversary. So that's why they're not here, and so we had to scramble around and fill in for Red. And we've done that, and we spared absolutely no expense. And our MC is a man who I think you are going to appreciate listening to. He's the man who dreamed up this show. He's the man who has organized some of the finest art events in Western Canada. And he is the man who has built this wonderful way of connecting people with art and charitable purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the West Fine Art Show Society, Mr. Murray Phillips.
Thank you, Brian, for those kind words, and welcome one and all. It's so good to see you after the hours and hours of work. I don't think you people know how hard I have to get Brian to work to put on these shows. And it literally is hundreds of hours. I think the most emails I got in a day was 17 from Brian. And I am so grateful to have a person like him to work with. I was for 12 years a part of the art show at the Calgary Stampede. The opening night there, as I spoke yesterday, is a little different than this. You come by invitation, as we do here, only it starts at 6:30, and people start lining up at 12. 2,400 people are invited, 2,400 people show up. Matter of fact, they could sell their tickets. And they start lining up at noon, and then at 6:30 precisely, they open the doors and people run in, and Jody Skinner, 3 booths down from me, sold out her booth in the first 18 minutes, $158,000. So we are looking to improve on that this evening. And from here I can see any hands, so feel free to put your hand up if you want. But I've lived out here for most of my life, and I really wanted to see something like this happen out here. About 7 years ago, we began doing art shows in Jerry St. Germain's barn. And it might sound like you shouldn't have an art show in a barn, but if you've been in Jerry St. Germain's barn, you know that he does his maintenance with tweezers. It's amazingly clean. No horse has ever seen the inside of that barn. And so we started there and started out by supporting Aboriginal scholarships. And we raised about $40,000 for Aboriginal scholarships. And then the next thing that happened was the Thunderbird Equestrian Center invited us to be part of that show, and we decided to do a show there that was very special. It was called Remembering Betty. I was married for 46 years to a wonderful woman. And she passed away, and I was always grateful to Langley Hospice for what they had done to support and care for us during those difficult days. We raised another $40,000 for Langley Hospice. And then we had an opportunity to come here, and a couple of years ago I was invited to be part of this, and I am so thrilled to be here. This is probably the best looking show we do. This is the perfect space for it. It's just right, don't you agree? It's just the right kind of place for it. And working with Mike is without equal. It's just the best. He's pleasant, understanding, accommodating, encouraging, supportive in every way. And it's just a treat to work with him. Mike, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and to your staff. Then the opportunity came to work with two fine organizations. And the way the West Fine Arts Show does, we don't increase our prices for the artists. What the artists who are here are committed to giving 25% of their sales to these various organizations. So we are very, very appreciative of the artists who are here. There's 21 of us here. So that's how we go about it. We try to connect with organizations that could use some supportive help. And that's what we try to do. And it works really well. And it's something that I am very deeply committed to. And it's time for me to give back. So I'm very grateful for these organizations, for their support, and grateful that you took the time to come here this evening. I want you to know a little more about what we are supporting. So I'm going to ask Nicole Reeder to come up and talk a little bit about the Cloverdale Rodeo Youth Initiative Program. Nicole, welcome here.
There we go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again, Murray, for that great introduction. And thank you all for being here. We really, really do appreciate it. So it's as Murray said, it's our second year of the West Fine Arts Show. So we hope you all had a chance to look around and take a look at the beautiful art there. And bye. So we also want to really give a big thanks to the artists last year for donating some of their proceeds as well to both of our foundations, as well as to the artists this year. It really does make a difference, and it means the world to us. So without people like that and without people like Murray, we'd not be able to do what we do. So thank you so much. And so we'd also like to thank Murray Phillips and Brian Croft for organizing everything this evening, and for also donating two beautiful paintings behind me here. So tonight and all this weekend, we're actually raffling off for $2 tickets to win one of these paintings. The draw will be on Monday, I think at 4 p.m. Is that right? 4 p.m., yes. So, so if you would like to buy any raffle tickets, please see Jamie at Child, and they'd be happy to sell you some tickets. So thank you so much as well for donating that. We really, really appreciate it. So again, just to let you know a little bit about the Cloverdale Rodeo Youth Initiative Foundation. We established it at our 68th annual Cloverdale Rodeo, and that was through giving two $500 scholarships to students. And that's how we started, but we knew we could do more. So really what the foundation is it's to support the youth of Surrey and the Lower Fraser Valley by providing financial aid and resources to students while connecting them within the community. So it's designed to give back in 3 different pillars: financial, resources, as well as what we like to call people power. So we've got a great group of student volunteers as well that like to get out and volunteer for other organizations that we're able to help. So we believe that by empowering, encouraging, and investing in our youth, we are securing a brighter future for all. So that's why we do what we do. The foundation also provides financial aid, not just in scholarships. This year, actually, we're giving 3 $1,000 scholarships to deserving grade 12 students, but we also help other charities out there that are about supporting youth and reaching out to youth. So last year, we supported the Ronald McDonald House for Surrey Memorial Hospital. We also supported the Center for Child Development and Sophie's Place. So, with saying that though, I'd like to introduce a few people here that are instrumental in the foundation and in organizing everything and making this all work. So I'd like to call out Mike McSorley. Mike, can you give us a wave? Thank you. Rick Hugh, Kelsey Swanson, and Jim Mahali. If you guys are in the audience, yeah, just give a wave. We also have some great, exciting news this year. So back in January, we actually brought on 2 grade 11 students to also sit on our advisory board, help us make decisions, have a voice, connect us within the community, tell us where we should be spending our money. So I would really like to give a warm welcome to Harpreet and Khalif that are sitting over here at our booth. So we're very, very, very excited to be having them a part of our board, and they're, again, just instrumental. So we couldn't do what we do without all of them. Tonight, I'd also like to introduce our board of directors. So if you guys are in the room, please just give a wave to everyone. So I'd like to first introduce our president, Shannon Claypool. Shannon? Oh, he must be getting a drink. Okay, so, okay. I'd also like to introduce, oh, there he is. Shannon, give us a wave. And he's, yeah, thanks. I'd like to introduce the lovely Penny Smythe, our rodeo chair. Penny. Randy Miller, I call him my work husband. We're co-chairs of the volunteers. We, couldn't do anything without that man. He's instrumental. We have Kelsey Swanson as well, that sits on our board. Councillor Dave Woods. Jerry Spielmacher, our money matter treasurer. We also have Bob Nielsen, the guy that runs the Cone Zone out there. John K. George, that looks after the ambassadors. We have Kathy James, and we have George Sidhu. And Rich, and one of our brand new board directors we just brought on this year, which is Rich Kitus, that can be found behind the chutes. There we go, or beside, sorry, Shannon. So, and so that's about it for our board directors. I think I got everyone. So, anyways, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate all the support, and just thank you all for being here as well. So, hope you have a wonderful evening.
There's a blue Jeep somewhere out there that's about to be towed. If you have a blue Jeep, please feel free to leave. So that's one half of what we support, and Mary Parsons is Grace McCarthy's daughter. Some of you remember Grace McCarthy, I'm sure, and along with Jamie Hunt has been very, very helpful in working with Child Foundation and very supportive of us, and we want to be very supportive of them. Mary Parsons is President and CEO of Child Foundation. I'll ask her to come up and talk a little bit about Child Foundation. Mary, welcome here.
Thank you very much, Marie. I've walked around this great installation and all these gorgeous art. You know, I don't understand how people can become so talented. It's just beyond me how these artists can put paint to canvas and produce these beautiful works of art. And bringing art to a rodeo is quite an inspired idea. We so appreciate Mike McSorley, General Manager of the Cloverdale Rodeo and Exhibition, for advancing this idea and for giving all of us such a great welcome this evening. Thank you, Mike. On behalf of our volunteer chairman of the board, Grace McCarthy, and our volunteer directors and governors of the Child Foundation, thank you all for supporting tonight the Child Foundation to find a cure for children that suffer from Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and liver disorders. We are changing the way health research is done in Canada, and our new research network linking scientists, researchers, nurses, and doctors, and most importantly, families across Canada is a first for our nation. We are determined to find a cure. Murray Phillips and Brian Croft have assembled such great talent to participate in this 4-day event. We have appreciated all their dedicated work that goes into organizing and setting up of this event. I also want to thank my colleagues Jamie Hunt and Emma McKenzie for being here tonight and manning our booth for the next 4 days. Also, our very valued director, Carol Muldowan. Without the artists, there would be no show. Thank you for your amazing talent, and most importantly, your enthusiastic commitment to give back to the community. Proceeds from the West Vine Art Show for the next 4 days will accrue to the Cloverdale Rodeo Youth Initiative Foundation and the Child Foundation, two great organizations that need and welcome your help so much. Thank you.
We're grateful also to others who have helped in many ways. The E.B. Horseman Electrical Distributors has been helpful in helping to supply some of the lighting for the shows, and we're thankful for the cooperation of many in the community that have helped as well. As I said before, we used to do a show, or we still do a show called Remembering Betty. Remembering Betty is, my hope is that we will raise $100,000 for Langley Hospice. Such an important organization. And one of the advantages of that show is that it has a name and a face to it. And we've been thinking about that over the last while, and some conversation has taken place, but in some communication with Brian Croft, who is a very creative and diligent person, we came up with an idea. Red Robinson, that many of you know, has been a part of our show all the way along. This is the first show that he hasn't emceed. It's the first show that he hasn't been at. Red Robinson had a son. His son's name was Jeff. And when Jeff was 10 years old, he developed Crohn's disease. And over the course of the next few years, Jeff had 26 major operations. And finally, at age 33, Jeff said, "That's enough, no more operations," and he passed away. And Red Robinson, you can't have a long conversation with him without his beginning to talk about Jeff. And we thought it was appropriate in the light of the organizations, the Youth Initiative Program, and the Child Foundation, if this show could be called Remembering Jeff. For in many ways, he is a symbol of what we are trying to fight against, what we are standing against, and what we are trying to raise money for. And it is a tragedy that in our culture and in our society, often people do not get cures and do not have access to the kind of medical attention they need because of lack of financial resources. That is a tragedy. And I have stood on the side of that and watched in my own life with my wife. And I don't want that to happen with Crohn's disease. So let's get behind and support in whatever ways we can. Jeff was a wonderful person. He never complained. He is, as Red Robinson said today, he was a heck of a kid. And so we want to do that. I want to also acknowledge that this is the first show we've done without a faithful neighbor and friend, Bob Syak, who passed away last fall. He has been at every one of our shows, put up the signs, and worked tirelessly without anybody ever recognizing he was doing that. And I miss Bob today. But I also want to, again, thank the people who are part of the rodeo board. And I want to thank again Mike McSorley and all of you people for coming out tonight. It means a great deal to us. A couple of other things. The paintings that we have up here represent close to, carry the three, close to $4,000 in paintings. And we want to encourage you to buy tickets. They're $2 each. And the artists are not allowed to buy tickets, but you are. So please step up and do that. One other thing, I am a promoter and a dreamer. I am not well organized. I am very fortunate to have people around me who are well organized. I'm usually off somewhere in the ethereal thinking about something that can be done. I have to personally say that I am profoundly grateful for Brian Croft. I sent about 17 emails. That's not because Brian is being nasty, it's because I am forgetful. And so I am grateful for Brian Croft and for all his work. And I am grateful for all these wonderful artists, so we'll make this quick. I'm going to ask you to come up. Carmel Clare first. Carmel Clare is from Langley. Brian Coombs. Brian Coombs, again from Langley. Suzanne Erickson. Suzanne Erickson, where are you, Suzanne? Suzanne, I don't have my notes here. Langley again, right? Come on up. Shelley Garys, who operates the 403 gallery. No, 204 gallery. Sorry, got the wrong number. Neil Hamlin. And Neil, we're talking, where are we talking from, Neil?
Maple Ridge.
Maple Ridge. That's all right. You can applaud. Bill Higginson. Okay, Bill, come here. Say good day. Say good day.
G'day, mate.
Bill's from Vancouver, but originally from Australia. Terry Isaac is not here today. Terry Isaac's booth is the second one over, and in some ways he has been called the successor to Robert Bateman. You look at his booth, you'll understand why. He's a great artist. He is teaching in, I believe, California this week, and he will be out on Saturday, Sunday, Monday here, okay? So Terry Isaac is from Penticton. Anita Klein. Anita Klein is from Cloverdale, Surrey. You might have heard of it. Okay, Emily. Emily is all the way from Grand Prairie, Alberta for this show. Graham McKenzie, where are you? Graham McKenzie's from Abbotsford. Olga Labalko. Olga, where are you? Vancouver. Ian, where's Ian? Ian Stevens. And he's from Delta. And James Stewart. James has done the wonderful bronzes that we have at the back there. If you know anything about bronzes at the Calgary Stampede, I think we've got an equal to anything there, and I'm really proud to have James with us. He's from Whistler. Ron George Strait, where are you? You're Ron? Where are you, Ron? There we are. Ron, where are you from? He's from Surrey. Again, I thought you might have heard that. I was hoping you'd say it a little louder. Joyce Trigg. Joyce Trigg. Where are you, Joyce? Dear friend and wonderful artist, Joyce is from Langley. Ken Nash. And Ken, you're from Coquitlam, yes, okay, and Judy Vanderbeek. No, Judy, you're here, aren't you? No, Judy, sorry. And Judy is from Maple Ridge, yes. And Brian Croft, where are you? Right here.
John Gilliatt from Langley.
And John Gilliatt. John has many things that are claimed to fame, but John played at John Chrétien's farewell. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll just leave it at that. John and I have been doing shows together for almost 20 years, so he's been a great help over the years. Brian Croft is from Langley, and I'm from Langley as well, so that's our artists, and we want to say we now officially declare the Remembering Jeff show to be open. Yeah! Pardon me? I'm also here. Oh, sorry, Carrie, sorry. I did not have it, sorry. Carrie Erickson, sorry, and he's from Victoria. He's from overseas in Victoria. Forgive me, sir. They want pictures, Brian. Oh, this is my best side. Thank you, one and all. Please enjoy. You have two responsibilities. One, buy art and buy it often. Secondly, invite others to come to this show. Would you do that for us? Thank you so much. Have a good evening.